Toronto Raptors being hosted by the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, a lot of stuff to get into. I'm yours truly, Stephen A. Smith, hosting the SportsCenter special. Looking forward to having the guest that I'm going to have on today's show, Mark Spears, Brian Windhorst, Commissioner Adam Silver, of course, owner Joe Lacob, the one and only Mike Wilbon. I got a cast of characters, a crew, ready to talk about the NBA Finals. Make no mistake about it, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. First things first, though. Got a few things to get into. One of the things is my state of mind right now because as Adrian Wojnarowski reported for us on Twitter as well as on ESPN, Klay Thompson has been lobbying the Golden State Warriors to play. They have advised him to sit out for Game 3 tonight. He wants to play. Here's my thinking. Sit him out. You know why? Because it's 1-1. You don't want him to get injured and then all of a sudden, or re-injured, and all of a sudden not be available to play for Game 4 or the rest of the series. The bottom line is even being down 2-1, the Golden State Warriors are a lethal arsenal when healthy. Even without Kevin Durant, they're still lethal. They can still beat the Toronto Raptors as far as I'm concerned. If Klay Thompson, if Boogie Cousins, if Andre Iguodala is ready to join Draymond Green along with Steph Curry to handle their business. But I think the key to Game 3 tonight is going to be Draymond Green. Of course, Boogie Cousins will be in there, going from 8 minutes to 28 minutes from Games 1 and 2, and that was pivotal. But Draymond Green is going to be the key here. You can expect them to key on Steph Curry as they did in Game 2 when they threw a boxing one on him in the last 5 minutes. They're going to dare somebody else for the Golden State Warriors to shoot. Nobody would be stupid enough to do that with Klay Thompson, but you would take that risk with Draymond Green being your secondary or third offensive option, with Boogie Cousins being a second or third offensive option. The bottom line is Draymond Green's got to show up from the perimeter. He's shown up in every other way. He's my MVP for the NBA Finals thus far for the Golden State Warriors, the way he has played in Games 1 and 2. But having said all of that, the one impediment to his success, the one impediment to his game has been his perimeter shooting. Can he hit perimeter shots? Because you know that the Toronto Raptors are going to stand there and dare him to hit perimeter shots. And if he can't do that, that's going to put more of a load on Boogie, more of a load on Steph Curry, and I'm just not sure they're going to be able to handle that in Game 3 of this NBA Finals. That's Stephen A's state of mind coming into Game 3 tonight. We'll see how things unfold. But before I do anything else right now, I'm going to talk to my man Brian Windhorst in just a second. But first order of business is to get to Marcus Spears for the Undisputed right here with Stephen A. Or the Undefeated right here with Stephen A. What's going on, Marcus? How are you, sir? Talk to me about your thoughts about tonight's game. What are you thinking?
Well, I just got a call back from Michael Thompson, and he says, is he playing? I'm like, tell me, is he playing? He's talking about his son, of course, Klay Thompson. We're waiting for him to run out here to see what he could do. Steve Kerr talking about 10 minutes. But Michael Thompson said, hey, I talked to my son last night. He sounded like he's ready to play. He wants to play. He expects to play. Now, what Klay wants and what the Warriors staff wants is two different things. When Klay comes out here, if he does come out here, I expect to see several doctors watching his every move. If it's up to Klay, he's going to play. But as you said, it may not be in the best interest of the team that he does.
Mark Spears, when you think about Draymond Green and the role that he has to play in Game 3 tonight, have you talked to him about it? What has he told you about the role he thinks he needs to play in light of the possibility of Klay Thompson being out?
Draymond just wants to do whatever it takes to win. He's always been like that. If you look at his numbers, he doesn't care about scoring. He doesn't even look at the rim a lot of times. So if it means defense, if it's playing point forward, if it means whatever, he'll sell popcorn at Oracle. He seems like he'll do whatever it takes to get this team to win, and he's also stepped up his leadership. And surprising to me, he ain't really saying nothing to the refs. When's the last time he got a technical? He's really reined it in and focused on trying to get these guys a championship. And he also told me he's focused on getting Stephen Curry as MVP as well.
Real quickly, Steph Curry made a tremendous gesture coming into tonight's game. Can you tell us what that is and why, real quickly?
He has these shoes that say Oakland on the side of it, 10 for 10 seasons in the back. He's written 30 letters to people that have meant something to him over these 10 seasons in Oakland, and they're all getting these shoes. And a memento, handwritten letter from him telling them how much he loves them and how much they've meant to him over these 10 years in Oakland.
Mark Spears for the Undefeated. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for being on the show. All right. Look at Boogie Cousins arriving. He clearly looks mission-minded, Brian Windhorst. He clearly looks ready to play. He's walking into the arena. He's walking better than I've seen him walking. in a few weeks, and obviously we saw what he did in Game 2. Brian Windhorst is standing right next to me right now. Coming into tonight's game, what's your priority? What are you focused on more than anything?
Boogie better be ready to play, Stephen A. It's the biggest game of Boogie Cousins' career tonight. This is the most uncertainty I've had for a finals game. This is my 10th finals. I don't ever remember being uncertain like this. What are we going to have in this game? Who's going to play? Who's going to play big? What are the game plans going to be, especially deep into a series? It's a huge game for Boogie. It's a huge game for Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol, former Defensive Player of the Year, got bullied around in Game 2. Wasn't ready for Boogie. That was a major factor there. The ball's going to find him. One of the reasons why it was so great for the Warriors to get Boogie Cousins was for a moment just like this. Even though we never saw this coming, this is it. Right there is a big matchup right now. Gasol on Boogie is big tonight. And as you mentioned, Draymond Green. The ball's going to find Draymond Green too.
We've heard what Wojnarowski reported on Twitter and the ESPN, obviously, about Klay Thompson. What are you hearing exactly about what Klay Thompson is telling the Golden State Warriors, and what do you think they should do with him based on the information you have?
So the Warriors have 2 game plans, because they have to realize that Klay could come out here, feel good enough, and impress the trainers enough, convince them that he can play. So there was 1 game plan with Klay playing and 1 game plan with Klay not playing, which probably, Stephen A., is going to mean the biggest game for Alfonso
to step up and handle their business to help him out on the road at the Oracle for Game 3 tonight.
Well, Kyle Lowry has got to play better. I'm not saying that he was a dog, but he has got to play better. 30% shooting the first 2 games, foul trouble in Game 2. Again, this is a huge moment for them. They came in here the last time they were here. Kawhi Leonard was out, and they delivered a big victory on this court. They have good memories of that. Kyle Lowry played great in that game. They are going to have to recall that. Kyle's going to have to play one of his biggest games tonight. If Klay does not play, Stephen A., I don't want to pound this too much, but this will be the most must-win game in the history of the Raptors franchise. They have to do it. That means a great game from Kawhi. That means a great game from Kyle Lowry. That means a great game from Marc Gasol. And don't forget, we could see OG Anunoby come back tonight in his first game in the playoffs.
Is that your way of saying that if the Raptors lose Game 3 tonight, there is no reason on earth to believe they're going to win this series?
If they can't win tonight's game without Klay Thompson, I don't think you can be a champion. So that's what I want to see. If you want to win the championship against the Raptors and Klay is down tonight, you've got to win this game.
You feel that way. I feel that way. Knowing the Raptors, they probably feel that way. Is that what the Golden State Warriors are telling you? If they take this game, we know we've got them?
That's the one thing about the Warriors. I remember that game in Houston when they lost Durant and they were going on Houston, and Houston thought they were going to have it. Now, granted, they still had Klay and they had Draymond playing really well. They were happy and excited. They love challenges. And Stephen A., that's not a must-win game for them. They're okay with falling down 2-1. They know they can win on the road. They know that they can beat this team multiple times in a row. For them, if Klay doesn't play, it kind of removes the pressure. Just go be free. Go be free, Jonas Jerebko. Go be free, Jordan Bell, whoever they got to play those minutes.
Right.
I think it maybe could lighten the load on them.
Wow. Brian Windhorst, appreciate it as always. Great job in your report. Much more to come on this special hour-long edition of SportsCenter. After the break, we're talking NBA Finals with the commissioner himself, Adam Silver. Oh, look at Andre Iguodala walking up in there. I would like to say, got on a nice T-shirt. You know, I critique wardrobes, Wendy. I critique wardrobe. Short sleeve shirt. It is Southern California. The weather's nice outside. I'm not going to knock him for that. But if it's the NBA Finals, I would have liked to seen a suit myself. Me personally. But he still looks good. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA. Up next.
It's still up in the air, I guess, with 25 days and counting until he can become a free agent. Danny Ainge, the Celtics president, addressed the media today for the first time since suffering a mild heart attack during the playoff series against Milwaukee. As expected, Danny Ainge asked about Kyrie.
There's not much I can say about that, honestly, but there's ongoing conversations. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
His camp hasn't given you an indication that he does not want to come back here.
I have not received that indication, no. He can do what he wants. It's his choice to do what he wants.
Is there anything you can do roster-wise that would encourage Kyrie to re-sign him?
I don't know the answer to that. We're not afraid of risk. We made a risk by trading for Kyrie, and no matter what happens with Kyrie, I'll never regret that. Just move on to the next deal.
Nothing they can do, I guess, right now, except wait and see. SportsCenter on the road, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, as we take a look high above Oracle Arena. And gosh, Oracle is where Kyrie Irving hit the shot that helped the Cleveland Cavaliers shock the Golden State Warriors after their 72-win season. That was 3 short years ago, and now look, gone from Cleveland, maybe gone from Boston. Michael Wilbon, unfortunately, staying right here with me during these NBA Finals. I mean, who knows with Kyrie at this point? What's your gut, though, Michael? What are you hearing?
That he's not going to be in Boston, that he's going to leave. I mean, we hear Stephen A. has reported that, you know, Brooklyn is the place he'd rather be, even over Madison Square Garden with the Knicks. And my question is, how valuable is Kyrie? We know he's going to get a max deal, nearly $150 million if he goes to Brooklyn or the Knicks or wherever it is. But we just saw a team have a tough season with him. They had a better season previously without him. This is not like the silly question of, oh, are the Warriors better without KD? That's a dumb question.
Right.
There's only one answer. No, they're not better. The Boston Celtics, we had a full sample of a full season sample and postseason to see they're better without him, or at least they were in this season. So what does that mean for a team like Brooklyn, and whether they want to spend that $140 million, $146 million, I think it is? Is he a leader? Have we seen that out of Kyrie? No, we saw him play Robin to LeBron's Batman, and it worked. Sure. He is an incredibly talented player and an asset. Do I want to make him the focal point of my building of a championship contender? I don't know, Sage.
The question is, though, does the talent outweigh the chemistry issues? And last year, the answer to that
was no.
Yeah. The news here today, as we wait and see what happens with Klay Thompson, Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne tweeting this a little bit ago, that the officials prefer, Michael, that Klay sit out Game 3 to protect that sore hamstring for the rest of these finals. But you know Klay, we know Klay. Of course he wants to play. He's continued to lobby them, but they'll wait till tip-off to make that decision. Michael, at the end of the day, Games 3 and 4, the only games where there's just one off day in between, so you understand why they prefer to sit him tonight, right?
I do, but we also know that Klay Thompson has played through so many injuries. His toughness is dramatically underrated.
Yeah.
He's played through injuries that have gone unreported, underreported. I think I have to leave that to Klay Thompson. I think after whatever 8 years, whatever it is in the league, he's earned that. We see this all the time in championship competition. A manager goes to the mound, and a veteran pitcher, only a veteran pitcher, says, Skip, no, I am not leaving this mound. I'm staying out here to get the next guy. And at some point, you have to trust your mega stars. Sage, you wouldn't trust everybody in a Warriors uniform with that, but Steph, Klay, Draymond, you wouldn't trust them?
I would. They know the importance of not pushing themselves because of the later games. By the way, Game 4, if he doesn't go tonight, Klay and Kevin Durant possibly coming back for Game 4 on Friday, so I understand why they say they might want to wait. Michael Wilbon,